Good morning. Tuesday Talks at 10:30. I am Evidential Medium Stacy Needenthal, and this is Tuesday Talks at 10:30, where we just sit and share and talk. I think to myself, well, it's Tuesday and it's 10:30, so I'm gonna be talking. How's everybody doing at the Christmas holiday season? Hello, hello. Come on in, come on in. I'll wait for a second. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, this is Tuesday Talks at 10:30. Again, I'm Evidential Medium Stacy Needenthal. Feel free to like and share the videos. If you choose, invite people to the group. The group is basically a place where we can all come together, a safe space where we can come together and we can talk about spirit and healing, meditation, alignment, coming back home to ourselves. And that's one of those things that I talk about every Tuesday at 10:30. And then we have the podcast Tuesday night at 8 p.m., where I, stretch it a little bit more. So some events that are coming up. December 29th is the Vision Board class here at Hip Gypsy Emporium. Bel Air, Maryland, January 20th and 21st. And then we're starting the online empowerment class, myself and Jody. And that starts January 16th. There's a link that you can sign up for one class at a time, or if you sign up for all 12 classes before the end of the year, it's half price. So the classes are, I don't know, I think they're 20, $25 a piece, something like that. So literally you can get all 12 classes for like 120 bucks. And that's on my link on the website. So, how are we feeling? We are 1 week. 1 week. Next week at this time, it's going to be Christmas Eve. Can you believe it? I mean, it just like the whole year just kind of flew by. Here, I need to move this. I had someone tell me I talk too soft, so I'm moving the microphone. Hopefully that'll help. Um, so are you guys ready? I'm like, I have 95% of the gifts that I bought are in-house and maybe a third are wrapped. So it came so quickly this year, just like, I blinked and here it is. Seems like just yesterday I was talking about in numerology 2024 and what the 8 year meant, what it was going to bring in. And here we are, like 2025 is peeking around the corner. So I want to just kind of check in on your feelings. I mean, how you feeling? Are you feeling festival or are you all in your feelings? Um, it's kind of a weird year feeling for me. Today's the anniversary of my father-in-law's passing, and today is also my parents' anniversary, their wedding anniversary, and my mom is no longer here. So December brings some weird feelings for me. I've always enjoyed the magic of Christmas and, decorating and doing all these things, but it also brings, hmm, some feelings, some emotions of those who are no longer here with us, or, missed traditions and just different things. So sometimes I'm really, really up, and sometimes I'm kind of melancholy, and sometimes I'm like, just, it's best just not to talk to me today. So I was thinking about that, and I wasn't exactly sure what to talk about today. And I jumped on a call last night of a spiritual circle where it's a safe space where we can talk, and 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 I don't even know what the words are, but it's just one of those places that I go to that when my mind is feeling like "Boo," when I sit in on one of these cafes, it helps. I wish they were more than monthly, but that's okay. So, a few spoke during the circle, and a few just listened. And I love that there's no pressure either way. The facilitator is not calling on anyone saying, "Hey, how do you feel about this?" It's just this open forum to speak. So when she formed a couple questions of what we wanted to get out of the circle, and if we could talk about things that we struggle with and things of letting go. And, that kind of hit me. There was a third question, but like she couldn't even get that out. People were raising their hands to share about boundaries and letting go and struggles. It's the time of year, right? And we face it two different ways. I'm going to have a really, really good year, or I'm going to have, I'm just going to be all up in my feelings. I'm going to work through my feelings. So when we were talking, um, it came to mind to me that, I struggle in December. I try not to struggle, but I struggle in December. And for the reasons that I just said about. And it's not like it's a huge struggle, but I can feel it. Sometimes I just get really, really quiet and just, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want anybody around. I just want to do what I need to do and then other times I'm like, I need everybody around me and let's talk. And I'm kind of a needy person, aren't I? Sounds like it. So when the first three or four women spoke, um, I noticed, and I don't know if I noticed it or if the facilitator noticed it, brought it up, but I noticed that there was the common denominator of talking about letting go and working through the struggles. And the common denominator was recovery. There's a lot of people in recovery, and the holidays can spark some of those things. It can trigger some of those things during the process. The thing with recovery, people, places, and things that you want to change, but during festivities, during holidays, we tend to reconnect with family and friends, and maybe some of those triggers are out there. So, are you with me so far? So, in talking about that, the facilitator kind of chirped in and said, aren't we all in some type of recovery in life? Not taking away from those who have worked hard for sobriety, but when you think about it, we're all in some type of recovery. And I was like, oh my, like that was a huge aha for me. Something said so simply made so much sense to me. Like I'm in recovery. And I haven't really drank in quite a few years. Every once in a while, I have a glass of wine. But I remember what the recovery process was like, and it was hard when we first quit drinking. But then I think about some of the other things that were and are hard to release and to let go and to set boundaries up. So whether we are in recovery from an addiction, from grief, a physical recovery, emotional, um, we're all in that constant state of recovering, healing, letting go, learning something, walking through, getting higher than, releasing, right? We're all in this constant state of flux of recovery. One of the participants um, quoted, and you know how I love quotes, from the Dalai Lama that said, how well do you live? How well did you let go? And it was like, you know what? That's exactly right. What am I holding on to? I don't see comments. I'm going to see if I can pull you up. What are we holding on to that stops us from moving forward with things? What are we having an issue with letting go? What are we recovering from? That's what I like to look at. What am I recovering from? What am I saying? Why can't I find this? Maybe I'm recovering from that. Check it out. There we go. I can see comments. Thank you. Hello, hello, hello. So what are you in recovery from? What's in your life that you're working through, that you're healing through? So when I reflect on my life, I also like to reflect on what I had to release, where I was and where I am and where I want to be, and what is good for me and what is not good for me, and where I need to find that happy medium. What do I need to release? Why is it different sometimes for us to let go of things that we know aren't good enough, aren't good for us? Like, I know I shouldn't eat the amount of chocolate that I eat, but I'm addicted to chocolate, so I use that as an excuse. Well, maybe I need to say, you know what? Let's chill with the chocolate. Let's say you can have one little piece of chocolate, one Dove chocolate a day or something like that. But it's cutting back. It's putting boundaries up. It's releasing it. It's letting it go. Why do we need to feel the need to hold on to things? Why do we need to feel the need to not have boundaries? Why do we stay in a state of flux, of healing, of hurt, of pain? Is it because change is too difficult? It's too hard? Do we not want to recognize the change that we need to make? I think about all these things, then I think to myself, "Oh, good God, I wish I had the answers to all of this stuff. I wish I could say, oh, this is what you need to do, and this is how you do it. And when you do this, now everything will be good." I wish there were certain steps that I could say to you, if you do these, life will be beautiful and stress-free. But like I said, unfortunately, I don't have the answers. Um, One person chimed in and said to look at it, at your healing, to be able to look at it as if it had been planned. So, whatever the situation is, if you trick your mind into looking at it as if it was already planned, maybe it would be easier to work through. Maybe it would be easier to release it. And I feel as though part of this process, in reality, spiritually, is there is a reason for everything. Every single thing that happens, there is a reason. Now, I don't always know the reason, and we're not always going to understand it. And that's always been like an issue for me. If you can help me to understand why something happened, even if I don't agree with it, I have an understanding. But that doesn't always happen. We don't always get an understanding, a reason why. Um, the answers aren't freely given. So we have to try and handle the situation with compassion and forgiveness and releasing, recognizing the truth, what the truth is with what we are given. So when I was writing about this and when I was thinking about this and I was thinking about recovery, I thought there's so many things that cross over with spiritual recovery, spiritual awakening, and the 12 steps. And it's funny that all of them have 12 steps. So I wanted to let you know about the 12 steps of the spiritual principles. So, the end result, what are the principles in spiritual recovery? Okay, mind, body, and spirit. So, this is getting the mind, the consciousness, all in alignment. So, those 12 principles are acceptance, faith, hope, courage, honesty, patience, humility, willingness, brotherly love, integrity, self discipline, and service. So we have to accept the things that are happening, have hope and faith and courage to honestly and patiently, with humility, accept, have the willingness to accept in love and integrity the self discipline to be of service. So when you look at the principles of spiritual recovery, there's these awakenings that you receive. These are the main principles. I need to be willing. I need to be honest. I have to have hope and faith for my spirit, my energy to awaken. And then when you look in spiritual awakening, those 12 steps are seeking. Don't you seek to find answers in any situation? Question. Question everything. Self-discovery. What's going on with me? Healing. Integration. Service to others. See how that service to others comes in a lot? Expanding consciousness. Being open to the possibilities and the what ifs. Intuition and guidance. Paying attention to your gut instincts. Allowing your guides, God, angels, your loved ones on the other side to guide you through things. Manifestation. What do you see? What do you want to manifest? Where's your clear vision? What's your goal? Unity in consciousness mastery. So unity consciousness mastery is opening up to the thought process that there is a higher power. There is another realm than the earthly realm. And service. There's that service again. These are the steps that when you work, it changes your thought process. It can change people, places, and things. It can make you all of a sudden shift into yourself. Have you ever felt as though you weren't quite connected with yourself? I have, and I still do every once in a while. I just feel a little bit off. It just something isn't, it hasn't clicked into place. You know when you put Legos together and they click and you know that they're stuck together? I don't always feel like I am clucked. I don't feel like there's a click there sometimes. I feel as if I've shifted a little bit out of the way and I have to figure out how to shift back. When you're driving down the road, right? And you go over the one side and you hear the roar, right? Or there's a clunking sound because you've not stayed within the lines. Sometimes I feel as if my spirit, my energy is not within my lines. So these are things that I seek to find answers, like what's going on with me? Why do I feel this way? What's happening in my surroundings? What am I picking up? What am I hearing? What am I listening to? Who's around me? This is all part of the spiritual principles and spiritual awakening. So then when I looked at the 12 steps, admitting the problem, the struggle, seeking help, um, and making amends to life or to live a responsible life. Don't we all want to live a responsible life? I mean, there's fun. I understand that. But we have to have responsible fun. So when I looked at, and it's been a while, and kind of ashamed to admit, but it's been a while since I've looked at the 12 steps of AA. So first, you have to admit you're powerless over whatever it is, and that your life has become unmanageable. So it's giving up the thought that you can control. Isn't that what emotional healing is about as well? It's knowing that you're powerless over the situation that's going on, and I need to ask for help. Whether it's from a friend, whether it is from spirit, whether, I need to take this inner journey to find out why I feel powerless. Two is come to believe in a power greater than ourselves that could help us restore our sanity, our higher power in the realm. Could be God, could be creator, could be your guide, whatever is your higher power. We are just a small speck in this universe. And there are so many spiritual things available to us if we are open to the possibility. 3 is make a decision to turn your will over to God as you understand. So I'm having faith in the universe. I'm having faith in God, in the creator. We lose our faith during our spiritual awakenings or through our spiritual downtime. That's that thing that you have to let go of. Ego. Why do I have to hold on to this? Why do I feel as if I need to fix it? Sometimes I can fix it. Sometimes I need to let it go. 4 is made a searching and feral moral inventory of ourselves. That's shadow work. You're searching for your own inventory. What do I believe in? What are my morals? Where's my integrity? Where do I draw the line? What do I want to accomplish? 5, admit to God and to ourselves and to others of our wrongdoings. Forgiveness. Consciously ask for forgiveness. Consciously forgive others. I was talking to one of my clients yesterday, and it was so weird that how some things just pop into your head every once in a while. And oh gosh, maybe 20 years ago, I'm trying to think. My youngest daughter had this birthday party, and she was, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years old, something like that. And there were a few girls that were there, and they were goofing off and carrying on. And she got a phone call from one of her old girlfriends who wanted to know if she could come. And my daughter turned around and said, can so and so come? And I was like, no, that's enough. You have enough people here. And now, 20 years later, I think to myself, what would have been one more little girl? Like, where was my mind? So here I'm putting my daughter my little girl in a stressful situation to tell her friend, no, my mommy says you can't come. And then the little girl on the other end knows that all her friends are at my house and that she couldn't come. I feel guilty about it. I still feel guilty about it. Like, why did that pop up into my head all of a sudden yesterday after 20 years? It is admitting my wrongdoings. Maybe I was just, I don't know, maybe the kids were driving me nuts and I was just trying to, you know, you have 10, 6, 7, 8 year olds in your house and like, whoo, time out. But then I think to myself, oh my God, I feel so bad. And if I ever saw, because I remember who it was, if I ever saw out and about, I would probably apologize to her. And she may even say, I don't even remember that. So 6 is be entirely ready to have God remove the defects of our character. So what are the defects of your character? Maybe it's anger. Maybe it's um, entitlement. Maybe it is being introverted or extroverted, but you're ready for the change. In the spirit realm, in spiritual awakening, you're seeking, you're questioning, it's self discovery, it's healing, it's integration. So, aren't these a lot like the 12 steps of AA as well? Humbly ask, Creator, to remove your shortcomings. Help me to be better. Help me to be of service. Show me what I need to do. 8, make a list and willingly make amends. What did I just say about this girl who's, what is she? She's probably, yeah, God, I'm trying to think. Maybe she's 27, 28. I don't know if she was older or younger than my daughter. You know, I had to think about this. And I feel like I need to make amends. I feel like I need to, like, if I see her, it's not one of those things I'm going to search her out, but there are certain things that maybe you have done that you need to search out someone and to make amends. 9, make direct amends. It's not a text message saying, I'm sorry. I got a letter a few years ago from someone who said, I'm sorry for whatever I did. Now, do you forgive me? And I thought, for whatever you did, do I forgive you? And of course, I forgive you. I will always forgive you. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be back into my life. And until you recognize what you need forgiven for, I can't help you. Okay? So it is making direct amends, except in the cases where it may be more harmful to others. 10 is take personal inventory, continue to take, and when you are prompted that you have done something wrong, admit it, make the change. 11 is through prayer and meditation, improve your consciousness, your contact with God, with your higher power, praying only for knowledge of the spiritual will to be done for us and the power to carry it on. That's healing. That's healing. You're working through it, whether it's spiritual, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, whether it's an addiction, whether it is forgiveness. We're all in a state of healing, of recovery. Step 12 in Alcoholics Anonymous: have spiritual awakenings as a result of these 12 steps. Like, I need a mic drop. You're having spiritual awakenings because all of a sudden you're decluttering those things in your mind that have been keeping you blinded. I'm going to say blinded. Um, there are certain times where I always feel like I have to be defensive and defend and protect my kids, my grandkids. Why do I feel like I have to protect them? What happened in my life that I feel the need to protect them? My kids are adults now, but I still feel like I need to protect them because I'm still in a state of recovery from maybe not having been protected at some point. And I know what the point is, and you don't want to hear about it. So there it is. So after hearing the 12 spiritual principles, the 12 steps to spiritual awakening, and the 12 steps of AA, they're also similar. I mean, they say exactly the same thing, almost in the exact same order, but in a different way. Because the universe needs to speak to all of us in a different way so that we hear them. It's like, tapping on the microphone. Is this thing on? Hello? Can you speak to me? Can you hear me? Let me say it this way so that you hear me. So, in our minds, in our bodies, in our surroundings, we are all having a spiritual experience in a human body. And we're all healing from something: people, places, things, all different types of forms of healing, all types of recovery. So when you think of recovery of the mind, of the spirit, are you staying stagnant knowing that you need to release it, but for some reason you just don't want to? Or are you trying to release it and it keeps coming back in your head and you're like, I'm trying. Like, why does it keep coming back? Why does it keep coming to me? Because you are in recovery. You are healing, constantly healing. The holidays can be filled with joy or they can be filled with stress. What's your choice? We're in recovery. Maybe you're in holiday recovery. Have you ever said to yourself, oh, good Lord, I need a vacation when I come back from my vacation? You're in recovery. Some steps may need to be repeated, and that's okay. Be patient, be considerate, be loving to yourself, to the others that are around you. You know, that quote by the Dalai Lama that said, how well did you live? How well did you let go? Wise words to think about, on your daily life, in the, daily mantra. Think about that. How well am I living my life? What do I need to let go of? Anger, frustration, jealousy. What do I need to let go of? Ego. What do I need to let? And it keeps going back and thinking to yourself, what do I need to let go of? What do I need to let go of? What do I need to let go? Oh my God, I need to forgive. I need to forgive myself. I need to let go of that feeling that I have because of this little girl that for some reason my mind was like, nope, she doesn't need to come here. I need to let go of that. But oh my God, it bothered me. So we are all a work in progress. Every single one of us are a work in progress. And you hear me say that a lot. We're human. We make mistakes. What you learn from the mistake, how you adjust your, how you adjust to the mistake and change it. It's all up to you. We all have free will. What are you doing? So, but going back to yourself, admitting your wrongdoing, and forgiving yourself is a step. Some situations are out of your control, but what's in your control is how you respond to them. Grief. God, that's out of your control. It just, all of a sudden, you wake up one morning and you're grieving again, and you thought you were through the grief. So, how am I going to respond to this grief? I'm going to feel it, I'm going to embrace it, and then I'm going to release it. That's what I have control on. And when it comes again, and it will, I'm going to feel it. And when I'm talking about embracing, it's almost like putting a warm blanket around yourself because we need embraced. But it's giving yourself the approval to say, I don't have to control everything. You are learning through prayer and meditation. You're awakening to consciousness and faith. Faith. Faith is the answer. Faith is the answer. I faithfully trust that the universe will do what is best for me. But then I have to faithfully move forward and do what the universe asks me to do or where I feel. And then I have to be able to differentiate where my intuition and my guidance is coming from. And if I make a mistake, I will learn from that mistake. I will adjust. I will forgive. And I will move forward because I'm in recovery, life recovery of mistakes. The serenity prayer says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. So I'm asking for peace to be able to acknowledge the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, courage, like the cowardly lion, courage, and the wisdom to know the difference. What a great daily mantra. And I have a lot of friends that say the serenity prayer quite a bit. I have relatives that I say it myself. The courage to know the difference. What can I change? What can I heal from? What can I help heal? What do I need to release? What do I need to be of service to? Life is recovery. So, to enable you to, of course, live the life you love and love the life you need, maybe we just have to accept that we're in recovery. And it's hard sometimes. And sometimes we need help, whether it's from a good friend, whether it is from a professional therapist, that we need to get quiet, pray, and meditate. We need to have spiritual awakenings. Have you ever been quiet and in prayer and meditation, and all of a sudden you're like, I understand now. I understand now. That's what prayer and meditation bring you, an understanding. If you question it, you will have an understanding when you're prepared to accept the understanding. There are some things we may never get the answers to until we're on the other side. And I have to accept that sometimes I just will not understand it. But this is part of my life in recovery, your life in recovery. How well did you live? How well did you let go? What do you need to let go of? Hmm? Something to think about. So, um, things coming up. We'll go there. So we have the online empowerment class that starts in the beginning of January. You have to go online on my website and click to join us. You can buy them, and I think they're 25 bucks a session. I'm not exactly sure. So you can buy them one by one, or if you purchase before the end of the year, you can get all 12 for like 120 bucks. It's like 10 bucks a session. I will be in Bel Air, Maryland, January 20th and 21st. And here at Hip Gypsy Emporium, I'm doing a vision board class December 29th. Like how I went back there backwards, I gave you um, January, and then back to December. I hope that you join me tonight on the podcast at 8 o'clock. Um, and I hope that I don't know. I hope that when you are seeing this life recovery, when you are feeling the recovery in life, that you have a better understanding and you're able to forgive and let go of the things that you need to so that you can rise above and connect better with consciousness. We don't have to hold on to people, places, and things. Sometimes we need to let them go. And it takes strength to let them go, especially when we have to let go of people. Okay? All right, guys. Evidential Medium, Stacy Needall. Tuesday talks at 10:30. I will see you next Tuesday at 10:30, I believe. I know it's Christmas Eve and the shop is open, so I'll see if I can scoot down to be able to do that. But tonight, 8 o'clock, Bold Brave Media. 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock p.m. Bold Brave Media. Tune in, turn it up, like, share, subscribe, all those good things. But I pray that you all are living the life you love. You're loving the life you live. If not, you're the only one who can change it. You're in a lifetime group of recovery. All right, guys. Peace out. I'll see you later and have a great day.